Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon His fine Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his household and his companions. My dearest viewers, wherever you are, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you all, and welcome back to our show, Every Word Counts. In this program, inshallah, we are going through verses from Al-Quran Al-Kareem. In each episode, we take a verse from Al-Quran from which we extract 3 words, inshallah, to learn, memorize, and use them, inshallah ta'ala, at home, and inshallah, wherever we can, whenever we have opportunity, inshallah ta'ala. So today, inshallah, we're going to recite from Surah Al-Muminoon, inshallah ta'ala, and then we go through the words. So here's the recitation. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون والذين هم عن اللغو معرضون والذين هم للزكاة فاعلون والذين هم لفروجهم حافظون إلا على أزواجهم أو ما ملكت أيمانهم فإنهم غير ملومين فمن ابتغى وراء ذلك فأولئك هم العادون. So this is inshallah ta'ala where we're going to be starting inshallah. So قد أفلح المؤمنون. Allah is saying the believers قد أفلحوا means they have succeeded. قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون. Those who concentrate in their salah. When they perform salah, they are خاشعون, means they are concentrating in their salah. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ. And those who avoid اللغو. اللغو means unneeded speech. Unneeded speech. So they are avoiding that. They are not wasting their time. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ. Those who protect their chastity, means they're not doing al-haram, no haram relationships outside marriage. Okay? وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ إِلَّا عَلَى أَزْوَاجِهِمْ أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُهُم. Except what Allah Azza wa Jal had allowed them to do. فَمَنِ ابْتَغَى وَرَاءَ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْعَادُونَ. And those who go beyond these boundaries, they are عادون, means they went over the limit, means they crossed the boundaries. So the first word inshallah we're learning today from this verse, from this surah, is أفلح. قد أفلح المؤمنون. The believers had succeeded. قد أفلح المؤمنون. أفلح is a verb, means he succeeded. أفلح يفلح فلاحا. Success is فلاحا. Where did the word of أفلح come from? Let me write it, and at the same time we explain where the word is coming from. أفلح okay, أفلح. أفلح, he succeeded. So أفلح came from الفلاح. We say in Arabic فلح الفلاح الأرض. Al-Falah is the farmer, the person who works in the field. So he فلح الأرض. We say the farmer فلح الأرض means he prepared the ground, the earth, for planting, for sowing. Okay? He prepared the ground, the earth, for what? For sowing seeds. Because doing that operation needs strength, also needs working hard working. So because of that, أفلح, success, came from this to show that success can only be gained if we work hard. Can you see the relationship between the word of al-falah, success, and where it came from? It derived from falaha al-arda, when a man prepares the ground to sow the seeds. Because that operation, if the person doesn't go and prepare the earth for that, he will not be able to plant anything or to sow anything, means there's no success. So success in Arabic came from this, to show you how Arabic works. So our second word, inshallah ta'ala, is Al-Mu'minoon. Al-Mu'minoon means the believers. Let us write it first. Okay. Al-Mu'minoon. Al-Mu'minoon. Okay. So Al-Mu'minoon came from Al-Iman, the belief. We say amana, okay, to believe. Yu'minu, he believes. Tu'minu, she believes. Al-Iman, the belief. Where did the word Al-Iman come from? In English, belief. In Arabic, Al-Iman comes from the word Amn. Comes from the word Amn. Amn means safety, security, peacefulness, peace of mind, tranquility. These are some of the meanings of the word Amina, Al-Amn. So while Iman, the belief, is called Al-Iman, which derived from all these meanings. Because when you believe, means you have peacefulness, means you have tranquility, you have peace of mind, you have certainty. Therefore, you can't believe if you don't have the certainty. Now, the peacefulness, if there is no certainty, you won't be there. You won't be satisfied because you don't have the certainty. So you can't believe if you don't have certainty. So Iman, to be called Iman in Arabic, you have to have that certainty. Means you have to base it on al-ilm, proper knowledge. Okay, so that is the second word. Al-Mu'minoon came from Al-Iman. Al-Iman came from peacefulness, peace of mind, tranquility, and all these can only happen, take place, if there is knowledge, if there is certainty. So now the third word, inshallah, is Mu'ridun. Mu'ridun, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about the believers, Mu'ridun. Mu'ridun, those, the believers, prevent themselves from wasting time on unneeded speech, unneeded talking. Means talking, and the outcome of it is nothing. That is called a laghu. It's called a laghu. Lagha yalghu lawghan. Okay? Laghwan. So a laghu is speaking, saying something that is not relevant, something that has no benefit. It's not beneficial. Okay? So that is lagh. Al-mu'ridun, those who avoid. When you avoid something, that is called al-i'rad. Means you are deviating from something. So where did the word of al-mu'ridun come from? A'rada yu'ridu i'radan. When you give your back to something, when you don't consider, when you don't regard something, is called i'rad. A'rada Zaydun an Adam. Zayd deviate himself or took himself away from Adam. So that is al-i'rad. So those people who avoid anything or somebody is called, the action is called al-i'rad. Why is it called al-i'rad? Because of al-ard. Al-ard is the distance between the edges of an object. So when you avoid something, means you are, it's like when you distance yourself from somebody or something, means you are taking yourself away from that. It's like this object here, no way this edge will meet this edge because they are always in parallel like that. So there is always space between them. So when you try to avoid something, means you are trying to make or to be in the status as these two edges. So what are we trying to say here is that these words are kind of a family members. Arabic words like members of a family. They relate to each other. You're not just making or creating a name for an object, but actually, or something, an action, but actually they derive from each other. So there is relationship between the words and the nouns and the names and so on. Okay, so these are our 3 words for today, inshallah ta'ala. After the break, we're going to read, inshallah, the verses that relate to these words. So for you, inshallah, to try to pick them up and distinguish this one from the other, inshallah ta'ala. So I see you after the break, inshallah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to our show, inshallah ta'ala. Every word counts. Now we're going to read, inshallah, the verses that relate to the words we read earlier. And inshallah, we try to pick them or pick up the words and distinguish them, inshallah ta'ala. So here we go. The first verse is as follows. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فأجمعوا كيدكم ثم أتوا صفا وقد أفلح اليوم من استعلى. And the second verse is وقل اعملوا فسيرى الله عملكم ورسوله والمؤمنون وستردون إلى عالم الغيب والشهادة فينبئكم بما كنتم تعملون. That's the second. The third verse is ولو علم الله فيهم خيرا لأسمعهم ولو أسمعهم لتولوا وهم معرضون. These are our 3 verses where we need to go, inshallah ta'ala, and try to see if we can spot out those words, inshallah, that we have been learning today, inshallah ta'ala. So now, inshallah, we're going to be going through the tafsir, some of the tafsir of the verse, inshallah, we have read today, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. The believers succeed, who have succeeded. The iman, or the belief, as we said earlier, has the meaning of certainty. Because if you don't have certainty, you wouldn't have tranquility. You wouldn't have peace of mind. You wouldn't feel that you are satisfied. You are convinced that this thing is as such and such. So to say, I believe in this, means you have certainty. Otherwise, if you don't have certainty, you can't use the word of I believe. You say, I think, probably. But when you say, I believe, means you have certainty. And that certainty is what brings the tranquility to your heart, is what brings the peacefulness, and you feel that you are happy with your belief. So Iman, for the believers, it has to be in this level. We shouldn't have doubt in things that we believe in. And to avoid doubt, because doubt is not a problem. The doubt means there's something you need to learn. Because some people, when they have doubt, they collapse. I have doubt. Forget it. When you have doubt, means you need to go and study more. Al-ilm is always there. Knowledge is always there. So go when you have doubts, don't feel bad. Don't say I'm a bad person. No, doubt is okay, it's normal. So it means there's something out there waiting for you to be learned and comprehended. So when you have doubts, go and study. And then when you gain the knowledge, the enough ilm, the authentic knowledge, you will gain that tranquility because you will be convinced that this is such and such. So the first thing we need to pay attention to as mu'mineen, as believers inshallah, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His religion, is that we have to base it on al-ilm al-sahih to gain the tranquility and peacefulness and peace of mind, inshallah. So the second part, inshallah, in this tafsir is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the salah. Again, as we always, subhanallah, when we go through the verses, we always come across a salah. A salah is very important. It's imaduddin, is the pillar of Islam, one of the pillars of Islam al-Karim. So when we go into salah in the right way, the way how we should perform salah, we get more connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that brings tranquility, and He adds tranquility to the tranquility we gained from an iman, and that's how iman increases. Because without these actions, these deeds, the iman will start fading out until it goes. So we have to make sure, because the iman cannot stop in a certain level. That is a fact. Some people say, well, I'm going to strive until a certain level and I'm going to stop. If you stop somewhere, you're going to come down. Iman doesn't stop in a certain level. Iman is always going up or coming down. That's why today, probably you are better than yesterday, or probably, I don't know, less. So iman always goes up and down. Al-laghu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about al-laghu in this verse. Laghu, as I said earlier, is to waste time in something that is not beneficial. عن اللغو معرضون. They avoid al-laghu, because al-laghu is just waste of time. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says in the authentic hadith, "Man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir, falyaqul khayran aw liyasmut." Anyone who believes in Allah and the hereafter, he should say something that is beneficial or remain quiet. Why? Because you own your words. As long as you don't utter, as long as you don't speak, your words are owned by you. As soon as you speak, as soon as you get these words out, they own you. You don't own them anymore. Means you will be held responsible. You will be responsible for your words. That's why they own you, whether they are good or bad. So it is a reflection here. We reflect upon this, that we always measure our speech. Very important. When there is, benefit, we go ahead and speak. Allah has given us all the means to speak. But when you see that these words are not beneficial, then it's better to step back and and then you avoid this laghu, this unneeded speech. Az-zakah means two things. Number one, zakatun nafs. Zakah is to purify something. That's why charity is called zakah, because you are purifying your heart from greed and selfishness. Also, you are purifying your money. So it is, alhamdulillah, halal for you, because portion of your money, it doesn't belong to you. It's not yours. 2.5% of your money, with some conditions that you learn in fiqh, that portion of money, 2.5, doesn't belong to you. Yes, you worked for it, but it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to those who are in need. This is the beauty of Islam. To take this greed and selfishness from our hearts. The love for this worldly life shouldn't be in the heart. Money always in your pocket, not in your heart. So zakat here in this verse is about zakatun nafs, because this verse, by the way, in Surah Al-Muminoon, has been revealed in Mecca. In Mecca, the zakat charity wasn't an obligation yet. Zakat was an obligation when Muhammad went to Medina, traveled to Medina, immigrated to Medina. So the zakat here in this verse is zakatun nafs, is to purify ourselves from all the heart diseases. because we are full of heart diseases, greed, selfishness, hatred, just name it, we know. So the zakat here is that also zakatul mal. Also zakatul mal is a sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the companions of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to prepare themselves for Medina when money comes, okay, because it's kind of glad tidings that don't worry, yes, you are in need today, but one day you're going to be rich, one day you're going to have money. So prepare yourself for zakat. Al-mal means share your money with those who are in need. So this is very important about zakat. Whenever we think about zakat, we think about it in these two ways. Zakat al-nafs, and that zakat al-nafs means you are purifying your soul. It should remind you with zakat al-mal to purify your money as well. So we are doing tahara, purification, internally and externally. That is very, very important. غَيْرُ مَلُومِينَ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about protecting our chastity, means avoiding al-haram, fornication. It is a horrible act. It is a horrible act. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really hates az-zina, because it's an action that is done by the name of a shaitan. As I said in a previous episode, that zina is done by the name of a shaitan. Al-halal, when you are married, you are actually under Allah's name. You're doing things by the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is a big difference between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the other creature. So those who are protecting themselves from al-haram, illa ala azwajihim, except what they do with their family, whatever Allah has allowed, فَإِنَّهُمْ غَيْرُ مَلُومِينَ, they are not blamed for that. And this is, again, it shows you how beautiful Islam is. SubhanAllah, Allah is not preventing us from pleasure. Allah is preventing us from what is wrong. Because all these things, if we look at the society, for instance, it's too much problems we have. It's just because of we are doing things without thinking. We just do them and then we face the bad consequences. Adultery never been good for anybody, whether Muslims or non-Muslims. Fornication is always a horrible thing. The outcome of it is always horrible. It's always horrible. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, here's al-halal, and when you're doing it in halal way, فَإِنَّهُمْ غَيْرُ مَلُومِينَ, Allah will not blame you for that. You have freedom to do so. In fact, it is something that has to take place because Allah allowed that so we can have children to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be responsible for the ibadah on earth. Al-warithun, those people up in this verse, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned all these ranks of al-iman and the believers, and that they are successful, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, said al-warithun, those who will inherit al-Jannah. Means al-Jannah, paradise, has been prepared for them, and see, it is for them, just waiting for the right time to gain it and be in it and go to it. So again, inshallah ta'ala, I'm not going to take more than the time that we've been given. Inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I would like to remind you to go to our website and download these flashcards because they're very important. You have the words there prepared for you. Make sure you print them out, you use them, you speak about them, you have them in your car, in your pockets, wherever you go, whenever you have chance basically to get these cards out and go through them and use them as well in your communication. Any word you use, any word you learn from them, make sure you use it, and that is the way how to, inshallah, to make sure they are solid and they are memorized, inshallah ta'ala. So we have finished, inshallah, for today. I'll let you go, and may Allah ta'ala give us the guidance, inshallah ta'ala, and I hope I see you, inshallah, in the next episode. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.